What's going on, y'all, and happy hump day. I hope everybody out there is feeling fantastic. Now, with all of that said, let's go ahead and jump into these topics. And the first thing I want to discuss is this situation that's going down between Angel Reese and RG3. So it's really clear and evident that RG3 has a vendetta out on Angel Reese, and it's to please his fans so that he can stand on what he thinks in his mind is the white side of history. I know you're supposed to say right, but the white side of history, because all he does is criticizes Angel Reese to the 10th power, and people are just getting sick and tired of it. Now, for those of you who are not privy to this story, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of history. So it all started when both respective teams met earlier this year. Angel Reese plays for the Chicago Sky and Caitlin plays for the Indiana Fever. So there was a portion in the game where things were getting a little bit chippy, and Caitlin ended up fouling Angel pretty hard. Angel got up off the floor and started to go towards Caitlin way as if she was going to do something, but we all know it was just emotion, two competitors going at it, right? And so Robert decides to take to his podcast or whatever in front of his wife, and this is what he had to say. This is just a snippet of what he had to say about Angel Reese. Check it out and I'll be back.
Where was this type of reaction last year when Angel Reese got slammed by Alyssa Thomas of the Connecticut Sun? Y'all remember that? She got fouled so hard, they kicked Aaliyah Thomas out the game with a flagrant 2 foul. What did Angel Reese do? Nothing. She didn't get up and try to swing on her. You know why? The reaction was different because of who did it. And there is a lot of history there with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. You guys remember last year when Angel Reese celebrated Kennedy Carter getting that flagrant foul on the hip check against Caitlin Clark? You remember that? On the sideline, just, yeah, baby, get her, you get her. Who celebrates like that for a flagrant foul on another player if they don't dislike that player? Okay, you want some more evidence? Here's some more evidence. Remember last year when they were talking about who gets the credit for the expansion and the eyeballs and the popularity boost of women's basketball, not just the WNBA, but women's basketball in general, because of the spike in the women's NCAA tournament and WNBA viewership. A lot of people were attributing that to Caitlin Clark, and rightfully so. This is what Angel Reese had to say, and I quote, "People are talking about women's basketball. You never would think they'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to the games. We got celebrities coming to the games, sold out arenas just because of one single game. Just looking at that, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on to be that for my teammates. I know I'll go down in history. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, the reason we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too. I want y'all to realize that." Now, I heard a lot of people say that I or others have made Angel Reese the villain.
And so now if you're RG3, when is the last time within your household you've had a conversation about what she's dealing with? You haven't been able to do that because in both of your marriages, you've been married to white women. You haven't had opportunities to have those conversations to educate you on what they're feeling, what black women deal with, what they're seeing when they think of a young Angel Reese. And the whole time that he's mimicking Angel Reese and bobbing his head and moving his neck while he's doing this whole piece, his wife is in the back amening and clapping. And so to me, it's just another situation that now this young lady has to deal with. When I worked with RG3, he would make all of these sort of corny jokes about milk and how much he loved it and how important it was. And he always points out on social media the color of his wife's skin, as if the color of her skin is what makes her special.
All right, so you guys just saw and heard what RG3 partially had to say about the situation involving Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, and I decided to follow it up with a response from Ryan Clark, who really gave RG3 that work with his response. I played you a little snippet of what he had to say. It was just a brilliant response. Okay, so let's fast forward to maybe 3 or 4 days ago. So Angel Reese is going to grace the cover of 2K for the WNBA, which is a video game for those of you who don't know, and it's quite an achievement. It really is, you know what I'm saying? And so they showed the cover of Angel Reese and things like that. She was getting a lot of praise and recognition. So RG3 decided to retweet a despicable depiction that changes Angel Reese from her initial cover to making her a monkey. And he shared it trying to be slick, saying, oh, I'm against this and things of that nature. Now, the funny thing about it is that this despicable picture came from an account that didn't even have that many followers. Sure, there were some people that saw it, but nobody really paid it any attention. But RG3 decided to take that picture and post it on his Twitter account, or X account rather, and he blowed it up. And listen, in my estimation, I've seen people operate like this. I wouldn't put it past RG3 that he was the one that created this picture to shame Angel Reese, and then he tried to clean it up by saying, hey, this is not right. I know I said what I said. And I'm just thinking to myself, who's to say that that wasn't RG3's burner account that he used to initially post that picture, and he just took it and retweeted it and tried to stand behind it like he was against it, or whatever the case may be. But this is the thing about the situation. He goes on to say that he talked to someone from Angel Reese's camp, and they confirmed that Angel does HATE Caitlyn, and then Angel and her own mother had to come out and refute those claims. They said that that was baseless as hell. And then on top of that, this brother garnered the attention of Miss Bernice King. She actually tweeted at RG3. So Robert says, we need more people ready to build bridges between us and not walls to divide us. The only way to find unity is talking through our differences in opinion and life experiences to find the best way forward. And then Miss Bernice King says, I agree. That's why I suggest you call Angel Reese and stop posting about her. Now, on yesterday, there was a clip from a podcast that was circulating, and basically Shaq was a guest on that podcast, and he called RG3 out. He basically said, man, if you don't stop mentioning Angel Reese's name and you post another picture of a monkey depicting Angel, I'm gonna lay hands on you. So what I'm gonna do right now is play you guys that clip, and then I'm gonna play you a couple of clips of people responding to this situation, and then I'll be back.
RG3, tweet another monkey post about my girl Angel Reese and face. Okay? It's enough. Like, I don't usually do stuff like this, but just stop it, bro. You got your job, you got your podcast, leave my Angel Reese alone. I'm the one calling her and telling her not to respond. Stop it. That's the last time. Okay? Thank you. Sorry about that.
By all means. By all means.
Yeah.
I hated the Clippers. I hated the Celtics. It's not real hate. If you look around what's going on in this real country, that's hate. This is sports. I'm not supposed to like you. I don't want you to like no other people's podcasts. Come on. Competition. That's what the world's built on, competition. Like, first of all, let them girls, like, leave them alone.
Yeah.
Like, it's a shame. It's a shame that all the stuff you did in your life, you're going to be remembered for your podcast. You're going to be remembered for your podcast. That should tell you you're not that great.
We need more of this. Ryan Clark did his thing, and he put out a Twitter video that was on the Off the Record podcast. I want to be very clear, Shaq's appearance. Ryan Clark did his thing. We need more. Someone like Shaquille O'Neal, who not only has grandstanding in the most positive way in NBA media and media overall, and stature as a person, but also that he is standing up for Angel Reese against a bully. Because that's what this is at the end of the day. It's Robert Griffin III showing y'all who he is once again and being a bully because, in my view, he wants to get Caitlin Clark on his show. And the other layer of this is that he is engagement farming. Look at all of his posts on Twitter. Look at what he's doing. Oh, they traded barbs at the presidential debate. They talked about this, and that. This is a safe space. Stealing that from Worldwide Wob, by the way, this whole safe space thing. Completely jacked it. This is a safe space. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? Always engagement farming. And now he has, many times over, but especially now, gone past the line. And he needs to be checked for it. And I'm glad Shaq is doing it. I just hope more follow.
Shaq just sent RG3 the crystal clearest message in regards to his comments towards Angel Reese.
Oh, speaking of man, RG3, tweet another monkey post about my girl Angel Reese and face. Okay? It's enough. Like, I don't usually do stuff like this, but just stop it, bro. You got your job, you got your podcast, leave my Angel Reese alone. I'm the one calling her and telling her not to respond. That's the last time. Okay. Thank you.
Shaq did not mince words. He wanted all the smoke with RG3. And shout out to the Off the Record podcast. Phenomenal job covering sports. You have Bailey amplifying the stories that deserve to be amplified and telling them the way that they should be told. And Lachelle, who breaks down the game, gets deep within the weeds of the game, giving you objective analysis. And I love her Saturday College Football Lives here on TikToks. I'm always on that. Phenomenal. Elite with the journalism. You can watch the entire interview with Shaq on their YouTube, and they go live on Twitch every single Sunday at 8 p.m. Make sure to check them out. You heard Shaq. He said what he said, but more importantly, he described how he's the one calling Angel Reese. He's one of the people telling her not to respond to RG3. People in Angel's circle called RG3. He didn't call them, they called RG3 and told them and confirmed what it is that he said. But again, RG3 doesn't have to speak to Angel to know about Angel and to talk about Angel. But where RG3 messed up and what Shaq is talking about is how he tweeted all of this with a photo of Angel Reese on the 2K26 cover, which was obviously a hate post. The fact that RG3 saw that tweet from an account that gets almost no engagement and he retweets it to his entire community and post this entire thing, don't he think that's gonna magnify things? If you're gonna use that moment to talk about how there should be no space for hate in sports or anywhere in the world, you should start and stop there. But then to continue and talk about everything else here, bringing back a tape that you had a month and a half ago, confirming and justifying, doubling down on it, you know, RG3, that was an opportunist thing to do, to take that moment and make it about yourself, knowing good and dang well that you are amplifying something that should not be amplified. We all can expect RG3 to respond to Shaq's comments, but what can RG3 actually say? Because the text in RG3's tweet is one thing, but to amplify something that is clearly racist and clearly hate-filled, that's an entirely different thing. Especially when it comes from an account that's getting no engagement on that post and you retweet it to amplify it. That's the real problem here. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. How do you feel about what Shaq said, and is he right for what it is that he said, and what do you think RG3 is gonna do?
All right, so you guys just saw and heard all of that. Now, I can't particularly say what I want to say because it's not going to be PG-13, but I know what Robert Griffin III is, and people with my same ideology, they know what Robert Griffin III is. And it's just sad that he feels that he has to be that way to pander to a certain community, to impress his wife, to impress people that look like his wife. It's just sad. It's really sad and disrespectful, and somebody need to check him on it. Now, Shaq, he's questionable too. There's some things I don't like that he's done, but at the end of the day, I have to commend that brother for calling him out in the fashion that he did. Now, what's interesting about this dynamic is the fact that Angel Reese has been balling out here lately. I'm talking about going in. She's had double-digit double-doubles, but you don't see anybody, you don't see RG3 or anybody that's always constantly bashing Angel, talking about her progression as a player. And Caitlin Clark has not looked good in several games. She's playing horribly, but they don't have anything to say to prop Angel up. And that's the problem that I have with that as well. Now, I'm gonna tell you something that I don't like about Caitlin. I think that she's a phenomenal shooter when she's on. She hasn't been on for several games, so I'm just gonna keep it real, right? And it seems as though that they figured out that she's a one-trick pony because those girls in the WNBA, they are locking her up and locking her down. Caitlin can't even breathe on the court, hardly. You know what I'm saying? But she doesn't do enough to speak out against her racist fan base. If the shoe was on the other foot, they would be calling for Angel to denounce anything that was coming Caitlin way from our community. She does not do enough in my estimation. She really doesn't. So in my mind, if you're going to be quiet about it most of the time, that means that you're complicit. I'm just going to keep it all the way real. You're thriving off of it. You don't want to tick your fan base off. You know what I'm saying? If you're totally against it, you would denounce it more. And that's just how I feel about the situation. But anyway, let's move along. And I want to talk about this situation with TD Jakes because he came out recently talking about AI is to blame for spewing out rumors that he was involved with Diddy and so forth and so on. He claims that it was 44,000 AI bots that were involved. I want you to check out what he had to say, and then I'll be back.
Right. So, but this is this stuff goes viral. So they went viral on Oprah. It went viral on him. People trying to get clickbait, playing around, trying to get clicks so they can get paid, so they can become relevant. And what he's saying, and what I'm saying is knock that off. There's no time for all that stuff. And it's interesting how black people often increasingly are attacking black people. I said it, right? You got a whole bunch of black celebrities, about 10 of them, that have been attacked by other black celebrities. We got enough problems.
And might I jump in and say this? When that first broke out, it was 44,000 bots that were released on me. And for people who read, Swoops, who does the investigation for NBC and other news outlets, discovered that 98% of them were all artificial intelligence generated. The other thing that it really proved to me, to Oprah, to Denzel, to all the people, it's everybody. It's everybody. Anybody. It goes along with the turf. Is that we have got to stop getting our information on TikTok. Right. That's a good place to start.
Right. By the way, there is an FBI website. You can just go there. Absolutely. And that's kind of water under the bridge. If there were anything there, the FBI would have been in it. Everybody would have been in it. I just wanted to say it.
There's no hiding it. It's like when I had my health scare. Within seconds, it was all over the world.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to find it on Instagram. You wouldn't have to find it on YouTube. You would find it in the 6 o'clock news. You would find it everywhere. Much to my surprise, actually, when I had my health scare, how far it went.
Because the world, that was the world reminding you what was really important.
Yes.
That actually you're appreciated and loved by people that really matter. By the way, interesting when we had that conversation, when you had the conversation with Oprah, I make the point because if they're going to attack Oprah, they'll attack, the frequency is so low. If you're going to go after Oprah, you go after anybody. So number one. And two, she wasn't aware that you'd been attacked because she don't watch low frequency stuff.
No.
She was completely stunned that you had any experience with that because she don't mess around with that stuff. She's at a higher frequency. So
which really goes to our point.
Yeah.
If you ingest poison, don't be shocked when you die. It takes all I can do at my age to try to stay current with what's going on, because AI is moving so fast that it is very difficult to tell misinformation, disinformation from real information. You have to be quite shrewd and sometimes professional to be able to do that. And yet we have to keep up with not only being able to detect the true from the false, but also to keep up with the quick and sudden changes that AI is making, that is changing the frontier of employment, that's causing a lot of people to lose their jobs and causing a lot of prepared people to find their jobs and to move into realms where we can really get something done.
All right, so you guys just saw and heard all of that. So I just want to ask the bishop a question. Are those same bots responsible for settling behind the scenes allegedly with alleged victims? Just wanting to know. Just keeping it real, right? Allegedly, because at the end of the day, we can't believe everything that's put out there, but you're not innocent. There's some things out there that you shouldn't have done as a bishop, as a pastor, as a leader. And so you can sit here and blame it on AI all you want to, but you've done some things, and Oprah has done some things, and Oprah knows that you've been accused. You think that she sits back and doesn't know things, that she's not privy to what's going on in the world? She knows. She might play that game like she didn't know, but she knows. Now, again, I want to reiterate that the bishop is not guilty of everything that was put out there about him, nor was Diddy. But from the information that I have and that I haven't put out, you were outside. All right. And I'm just going to leave that there. But anyway, let's move along, because I want to share this explosive message that I got from a reputable source. And listen, I debated about putting this out, but I'm going to put it out, and I'm going to have faith here. And I'm just going to go ahead and put this out, because at the end of the day, it is something that I believe has some factuality to it. I believe that there is some reverence to it. And so I know that my plug would not lead me in the wrong direction, but I will say before I read this message to you that everything that I'm about to convey to you is all alleged. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So it says here, attorney blank blank says that 44 tapes were seized and taken from Diddy's homes by the FBI and were later destroyed. Ghislaine Maxwell is who tipped off the FBI and told them that Diddy was in possession of some incriminating evidence involving members of the high society. Now Ghislaine wants to talk and expose everyone on Jeffrey's flight log list after Pam Bondi and other members of Trump's cabinet are saying no list ever existed. Ghislaine, I'm told, will be interviewed by a major network within the coming weeks, and Trump will be supported by Ghislaine for not being on any list, and she will be pardoned. There has to be a list because otherwise, why would she be locked up? It's been said that Trump's team will then clean up things by saying that when they said that there was no list, that it clearly meant that Trump wasn't on any list that suggests he was involved in any criminal activity involving Epstein. Block out the name, boss, later. Now, I will say that this is a very interesting revelation. Again, this is all alleged information. I haven't seen anywhere that Ghislaine is going to speak to anybody, but this is just rather puzzling. We know that Ghislaine was Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend for so many years, and she was found guilty of, you know what, trafficking. So, like, this is just an interesting dynamic. But listen, I'm gonna leave it here. I want you guys to drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about everything that I discussed within this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and if you're new here, consider subbing to the channel. I'll get with you guys later. Peace.